So remember that game I was shilling for earlier this year called Avowed? Well, that game flopped, okay? It flopped, all right? I got to go ahead and surrender. God damn! The white flag. The clown horn for this video goes to me. Okay, because the game flopped, okay? I don't know what else you guys want me to say. It is what it is. I'll hold the L on that one. I got to, I was a little bit, the game had me fooled, okay? I thought the game was going to be pretty decent. And while it wasn't a bad game, it just wasn't what I hoped it would be. And goddamn it, whatever. Anyway, Smash JT is a menace and he needs to be stopped, okay? Because if you remember, back in the day, aka earlier this year, Smash JT was trying to hint to you guys that, I'm just saying, Carrie Patel, the face of Avowed, it wasn't looking good for her if this game did not go well. And he had sources, and people didn't want to give him credit, even after a goofball like Jeff Grubb was stealing stories from my boy Smash JT. People still didn't want to give my boy credit. So I'm going to play this clip. This is from, when was this? This was 3 months ago. So check out this clip.
According to my insiders, it doesn't seem like there's a potential big future prospect in it for this one Carrie Patel. And that's really all I'm allowed to say at this point because it doesn't give too much away. But at the same time, I think even Obsidian is realizing that they made a grave error in putting this person in charge.
Well, that's interesting. That's interesting because I came across this. Avowed director Carrie Patel departs Obsidian after 12 years. Joins Netflix's gaming team. Now, this is interesting. Before we get into it, make sure y'all like the video and subscribe to the channel because, this one's a doozy, all right? Because here's the thing. We're going to get into this Eurogamer article. But I love how they try to spin it as this is more of a moving on to Netflix type of thing while also contradicting themselves in the article. Well, not really, but it's like the way that the article is written is they're trying to make it seem like this isn't a big deal. She moved on to bigger and better things, greener pastures, while also showing a quote at the end of this article that literally confirms she never had planned on leaving. Just that she never planned on leaving. So let's go ahead and dive into this thing real quick. This is an article from Eurogamer. Now, of course, you got all of the fluffing up. She offered no further clue as to what she'll be working on at the night school in her update. But she let people know this on LinkedIn, by the way. But the Oxenfree and After Party studio has an impressive track record despite its limited output since being acquired by Netflix in 2021. It released Oxenfree 2, Lost Signals in 2023. Nobody's playing that, but nothing else until Black Mirror tie-in Thronelets, nobody heard of, arrived earlier this year, a release that followed an unexpected number of layoffs at night. What do you mean unexpected? Nobody knows who the fuck these people are. This is the new studio that she's apparently going to. What is that? Oxenfree? Like, stop it. Stop it. And like, listen, Netflix need to stay in their lane. They getting a little bit too antsy here. Like, y'all niggas need to stay over in y'all lane, make movies, stream, and do those things. But what I want to come to is down here at the bottom of this article where they talk about Avowed. This is what the person who wrote this article says. As for Avowed, prior to Patel's departure from Obsidian, she suggested it wasn't a one and done effort. Now that we built this wonderful world and also built this team strength and muscle memory around the content and gameplay in this world, she explained, I'd love to see us do more with it. Next up for Obsidian, though, is The Outer Worlds 2. It's due later this year with a special developer deep dive set to air on the 8th of June following the Xbox Games Showcase. Now, I don't know about y'all, but oh my God, based on that quote right there alone, it sounded to me like she had planned on being with Obsidian for the foreseeable future so they could continue to work on Avowed. Well, obviously that didn't happen. And so there had to be some truth to Smash JT's report that Obsidian obviously thought that they made a mistake by hiring this person. Now, if you go back to when Avowed released, 19,000 was what they got up to at the most. Obviously, you see not a lot of people playing this game. We don't know what the Game Pass numbers look like, but we do have other games that came out on Game Pass as well. Expedition 33, Oblivion, Stalker 2, that had wonderful numbers on Steam. So it's really hard to know right now, but it's obvious that she was fired. I don't see any other lane that, like, this was going to Netflix gaming division was a step down. Maybe Netflix was excited to have her because she came over from a major studio and she could shed some light maybe on how they should better run their gaming division. But nigga, you don't go from working the absolute parachute that is Microsoft to go to Netflix gaming division. You don't even know if they're going to be in games in the next 10 years. She was fired, gang. She was fired. And I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't want to make this a public spectacle by announcing it and all of those things, because obviously people in the industry do not want to give credibility to people like Smash JT. Just imagine if you lived in a world where YouTubers were infinitely more credible than journalists that the video game industry control, because I think that's what this is about. The journalists want to suck up to the studios because they want access. They want to be able to get actually into the gaming industry, not just writing about it. And then obviously the video game studios want to control the journalists because then they can control the narrative surrounding their game and their studio. YouTubers are wild cards and they're too volatile. You would prefer to have content creators who loved every single release that you had instead of content creators that are going to tell the truth about whether or not your game is good. And so if Smash JT winds up having more credibility than Jason Schreier, that's obviously a problem for the industry that they're not going to want to let go lightly. But obviously, Shorty was fired. She was fired, gang. And quite frankly, I can't say I disagree with this. You know what I'm saying? Let's be for real. Avowed was a total clusterfuck. Okay? Not in the sense of the game didn't work, but just in the sense of what it was hyped up to be. This was supposed to be a heavyweight for Xbox. And we just got a clusterfuck. A realistic, you know what I'm saying? A realistic game set in the Pillars of Eternity universe. Instead, we got, I don't know, Elder Scrolls Fortnite edition. Like, what the hell? It just didn't hit the same, gang. It just didn't hit the game. Hit the same. So anyway, I don't know, layoffs are coming. Here we go again.
Shit. Here we go again.
You know what I'm saying? Layoffs are coming. She's already been fired. And oh well. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. As always, may the grift be with you. I'll talk to you later.
Oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.